Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo number D9102-DU-RC. This is a Duro-coated round corner strike plate. That it is. This happens to be for a roller latch, however, or a ball catch. Roller latch is really what it's used for. So it's a 9102 strike. That's going to specifically mean a confluence of its height and its lip length. The D in the beginning means it's for a roller latch. The DU means that it is a dark brown powder-coated finish, which is going to be complementary to sprayed dark bronze or even oil rub bronze. Complementary, not exact. The RC means radiused corner. That's a 1/4 inch radius corner. That's when you are routing your jamb, or I suppose maybe the edge of your inactive door with a 1/2 inch 2-flute carbide router bit, and you route that and you don't go back and square out the corners. Okay, you'll be left with that radiused corner. And a lot of people are looking for a radiused corner. A homeowner will see the way that the strike is prepped and realize it's not square, it's radiused, and that will be what they focus on. If you ever found a strike that was square corner and you needed radius, but everything else was the same, just know you could take your small little chisel and knock those corners out if that was something that helped you in terms of lead time or availability or cost, whatever it might be. So why would you use a strike like this? And these are relatively new in the market, but they do absolutely fill a hole. Why would you use it? Let's talk about that now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. The common time that I see something like this, especially one that has a little bit longer than average strike lip length, is residential application. It's a kitchen. Woodwork is everywhere. Walls, on the face of appliances, and you've got a pantry door, just let's say to the left of the refrigerator. And, you know, you don't want a lock or a trim on there. You've got a way by which you can pull that closed. In fact, what you could have could be a appliance poles that are on your woodwork that is put on the face of your appliances. You could have a matching pole onto what's next to it. Could be an appliance, could be a pantry. And you're going to go with a ball or a roller latch there because you don't want a knob or a lever. You know, you want some way to keep the door in the closed position, but you don't need something that's latching. And a ball catch or a roller latch does that job really well. Now, why an extended lip? Well, that sort of construction where you're building a custom kitchen, it's not going to have a jamb like you would have on a door. It'll have a jamb. It'll just be an unusual size to suit whatever the requirements are of the construction. And that is very likely going to necessitate a longer lip. I sold one of these, gave one of these to a relative of mine, and he had the ball latch installed and he had the strike installed, but it was 3/4 inch short of what it needed, so there was a mark continually on that jamb, and he didn't think about it, even though he was aware of it. I said, you know, we can do better than that, and here we go. There you go. Put it on. So this is the 9102. That means it's 2 1/4 tall. Now the width of this, as you can see, is about 2 3/8. That's not how strikes are measured. Strikes are measured from the center line of the hole to the edge of the lip, and that means that this is going to be a 2-inch strike. That's what it's going to be. That's the 9102. That's certainly where that's coming from. You would measure this out, you would call this out as a 2-inch strike. It's 2 1/4. It's full lip. You might even call it a D strike, which is what we call it. If you use your imagination, you can see why. But this is a 2-inch strike, is what it is. By comparison, a standard lip length is about 1 3/16 inches, plus or minus a 1/16 of an inch or so. So if you have a condition where you need an additional 3/4 inch, this is very likely the candidate. This is going to include a couple of typical fasteners and a complementary finish. Let's switch now to the screen view and take a closer look at all of the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here's the item that we are looking at, and this is just a generic image. Let's take a look at some actual images of the item. There it is in its packaging. You can tell by this texture that it's powder coated. Close-up view. full lip or D strike. The underside of it to show you what the backside looks like. And yeah, when you're installing this, you're likely going to have to do some reworking to your frame to a certain degree, probably not very much. And if you are installing this onto a cased frame like the woodwork, the custom kitchen woodwork, yeah, you're going to need to create an area for this. If you aren't outright mortising this to the jamb, you'll certainly need to clear out some wood for that. A close-up shot of that recessed area, somewhat of a side view, and then again the underside. Now, extended description information, DU is Duro coated, and they do call it 2 1/4 by 2 inch. They say it's 50 thousandths thick, which would be, as they say here, about 18 gauge. Extended lip dimple strike, that's where the D comes in. Custom lengths available. They certainly do have custom lengths available, and other sizes that are typical. Let's look at the template first. This is just the EL102, a sister product to it, or the 9102, not the D version, but and this is here because they likely don't have a technical drawing of just this dimple strike. There's also a link to the product brochure, and this is handy, and this strike won't be in here, but it's handy because it will allow you to see, let's just search 9102, and we will find it here. You can do that D version, that dimple version. Yeah, it's not even mentioned here. You can do that in 1.5 inch, 1 3/4, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4 inch. You can do it in radiused corner. If you leave the RC off, it'll just be square corner. You can do it in polished brass, antique brass, satin nickel, antique nickel, stainless steel, and dark bronze powder coated. I know that they can do black powder coated as well. Okay. What's the difference between the ELs and the 9s? The ELs are carded. They're in cardboard display packaging. The 9 series, or the D9s, are just in bags, just in poly bags. Okay. The rest of this catalog will allow you to review all things strike related from Danjo. There is somewhere, not in this catalog, but they do have a template that will, pardon me, a worksheet that will allow you to sketch a strike that you need, a custom strike. That, you know, if you had an application where the quantity or the volume was such that it would make sense for you to order custom strikes, you could certainly do that using their custom request form. Now there's a link below here to the manufacturer's page. When you pull that up, you can view not only all of the Danjo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen there, but you can also take a look at the manufacturer's website, their full-line catalog, and that full-line catalog broken down into independent subsections as well. We're looking at the strike plate catalog, and if you know the name Danjo at all, it may not be for strike plates. It's probably for latch protectors and wraparound plates. But as you look at the other categories that are here, pivots, hinges, ladder pulls, push and pull hardware, stops, holders, and bumpers. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Yeah, Danjo has a complimentary offering of trim and auxiliary hardware. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. In conclusion, if you have any questions about the D9102 or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. They are a relatively petite company in terms of their footprint, but what they do well. They have some unique products that are available only to them, in the sense that there's some security hardware that they offer that you might be interested in. If you are in this industry, then you are very likely already familiar with them. If you get involved or you're dragged into dealing with hardware, you might want to take a look at their catalog just so that you can, write a memory to the back of your head that you say to yourself, I saw that somewhere. Could be Danjo. They have a product line that sooner or later you'll bump into needing something from. Who else makes a dimpled extended lip strike for a roller latch? That's my point. No one. Danjo does. And they can do it in different sizes and different finishes. You get the point. Any questions on the D9102 in an RC and in a DU finish or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.